Jerry has had enough of his charge nurse, Katherine, who is a known bully. For years, everyone puts up with her because she was so good. However, Jerry just lost another new nurse because of her and decided enough is enough. He makes an appointment with his HR business partner, Emily, and he tells Emily about Katherine and that he's had enough with her behavior and wants to terminate her. Emily asks for documentation. When Jerry shares a few documents, Emily reads them and then says, "I'm sorry, but you've got nothing here that we can use. How about a verbal warning?" Jerry leaves Emily's office frustrated and angry. Has this ever happened to you? On this episode of Coffee and Conversations About Nurse Bullying, I'm going to teach you just a few simple strategies to document like a rock star leader. Hi, I'm Dr. Renee Thompson, the CEO of the Healthy Workforce Institute. Welcome to Coffee and Conversations About Nurse Bullying. You know, I've talked with many leaders who shared a similar story as Jerry's. They finally decide to do something about their employees' bad behavior, but when they get to HR, are typically told that they don't have enough documentation. And while the leaders complain about hitting a brick wall when asking HR for help, I've seen things from HR's side too. Many HR representatives may believe the leader want to support their decision to therapeutically extract the employee, but without proper documentation, they would be putting the organization at risk. So here are 3 tips to help. Number 1, start documenting as soon as you sense a problem. Just like when at the bedside, we tend to pay more attention to our documentation when we sense there's a problem. You know, when I was working as a neuro nurse, my colleague and I walked my heavyset, very short, recent stroke patient, she had mild left-sided weakness, to the bathroom. I wanted to put her on the bedside commode, but she insisted on walking to the bathroom. We barely got her to the toilet. Seriously, it took every ounce of strength to keep her from falling. And getting her back to bed required 6 of us. 30 minutes later, the patient's daughter called me to her room and accused me of allowing her mother to fall. Even though I assured her her mother did not fall, because she didn't. She kept insisting that she did. You better believe we took extra time to document every detail of what happened that day. And sure enough, 6 months later, she tried to sue us for the fall. It was our documentation that saved us. Do the same thing with your employees. Once you sense an issue, start an ongoing documentation trail. Number 2, include these items in every documented incident. Believe it or not, I've seen many documentations that don't include just the basics. So always include the following items: dates, times, location. When did this happen? Where did this happen? What time? The second thing is include the incident. Describe the incident as objectively as possible. Keep your opinion out of it. Then make sure you add any witnesses. Who was present when the incident occurred? You know, and it almost doesn't matter if the witness is also willing to document. Including witnesses in your documentation lends credibility. Make sure you also include verbatim comments. Let's say your nurses say to your newest nurses, "Listen here, BITCHs, you just took away our overtime." Include those exact words in your documentation. Yeah, it's a true story. And then if you've taken any action already, if you've had a conversation, did counseling, include any of those details, especially if you've already addressed the behavior in the past. Make sure you include any action items or expectations that you've delivered to that employee. And then number 3, include the so what factor. Before you go down that documentation path, make sure you can answer the so what. So your nurse says to your newest nurses, "Listen here, blah, blah, blah." How does that behavior impact patient safety, quality of care, satisfaction, or the way the team communicates with each other? Or what if one of your experienced nurses refuses to take report from another nurse, refuses to help, or walks off the unit when there's a crisis happening? They call that ghosting. Always, always think about the impact or the so what factor. Employees like Katherine, no matter how good they are, should not be allowed to continue disrupting the workplace, especially because the I's weren't dotted or the T's weren't crossed. And one last bonus tip. Anna Slaughter, an associate CNO who recently went through my Eradicating Bullying and Incivility course, shared her tip with me. She said, I document on my employees like I've documented on my patients. I thought that was brilliant. So if you're going to document, make sure you do it right. Okay, I'd love to read your comments about this topic, so make sure you post them in the comment section below. And if you like this video, make sure you subscribe and share it with others. And if you really want to go down the rabbit hole of workplace bullying and incivility, go to my website, www.healthyworkforceinstitute.com, for more resources. So until our next conversation, be kind, take care, and stay connected.